Hey guys, we're 1 through 4 here, and I've got another deck profile for you guys. This week at Locals, I ran Fabled Doppel Synchron, also known in some areas as Draw Whore. I went X2, but I really should have only gone X1, because, I was a little tired, and I was excited about running this deck because it was doing a lot of silly things, and I was playing against D Heroes, the Absolute Zero version in round 2, and I dust shooted this kid. So I saw his entire hand. I saw he had a Mirror Force. I saw he had Raikou, and I saw him set both of those. And then I go all crazy, synchro for Shooting Star, all kinds of stuff in one turn, and then I attack, and I of course negate Raikou with Shooting Star, and then I'm all in the moment. I go to attack again, and I'm like crap, and walk right into a Mirror Force. So I lost that match when I really shouldn't have. But I didn't end up in top because my tiebreakers, because of that kid did really bad. I was the only guy he ended up beating. So my tiebreakers were really bad, so I didn't end up in top. So whatever. I don't need to top every week. And this was a fun deck, so I don't really care how well it did. But anyways, this deck is actually, I had it made for last format, but I didn't make it to the last tournament of last format. So I remade it for this one, and it's even better because of not having to worry about all the back row. But anyways, here's the deck. First, you got yourself 3 Fabled Chalas, light 1-star synchro tuner. Let you disc a Fabled to special summon it from your hands. Really important to this deck. Then I'm running 2 Fabled Cerberals. Fabled Cerebral, when he's discarded from the hand, you get to special summon him. And he's a 2-star tuner. Then I'm running double Fabled Ganassia. When he's discarded, you special him, and he gains 200 attack points, so he becomes an 18. And he's 3-star non-tuner. And when he leaves the field, when he's been special summoned by his effect, he gets banished. So you just got to pay attention when you're doing that. Then I'm running 1 Fabled Cruise. When Fabled Cruise is discarded, I special summon a Fabled besides herself and bring it up to the field. This lets you do a lot of stupid things. Plus, it's a 2 non-tuner, so it pairs well with Junk Synchron. But you discard this with Fabled Chawa, and then its effect activates and lets you bring back Ganassia, or more importantly, a lot of the times, your 2 Fabled Grimrose, because they're level 4 non-tuner, so it gets you your 5s easy. This deck revolves around its 5s. This deck should be maining a Shooting Quasar Dragon, but obviously I don't have that yet. But yeah, I got 2 Fabled Grimrose. They're like Rhoda for Fableds. When you control a Fabled, disc it to add any other Fabled besides Grimrose from your deck to your hands. That's the Fabled part. Next is on the Doppel Synchron part. Next, you got double Junk Synchron. He's probably one of my favorite Synchron monsters. Makes level 5s easy. He just gives you a lot of advantage. And he lets you reuse your Formula Synchron, since you only have 1 now. Next is double Quick Draw Synchron. I'm actually looking to get a second super one, but send a card from your hand to the graveyard to special him. I really wish it said discard, but I guess that would make him a little broken. But yeah, send it to special him. So if you send something good, you fill up your graveyard, and he lets you make all of your Synchron type synchros. This deck abuses Drill Warrior like it's nobody's business, but I'll explain that one later. Next, of course, I've got double Doppel Warrior. This guy gets off all the time because Fabled effect, boom, he comes out. Your Junk Synchron comes out. Reborn comes out. Really good card in this deck. That's why you're running 2 of them. Next, I'm running double Level Eater. This card is really important to this deck because you're always sinking, so you always have higher monsters. You get this guy out, you munch levels off, get more synchros. It just lets you keep expanding and stuff. And in this deck, you need to sync as much as you can. Next, one Dandelion. It's Dandelion and Fabled. It should make obvious sense to you. One Glow Up Bulb to fill up the graveyard, and it's 1-star tuner. It's good. Next is one Sangan to search out cards in your deck. One Gores, because this deck only runs one trap card. It originally was 0, but for this format I decided that one trap card was better. Plus it's a dark. Next is double Chaos Stork. Since I'm running enough lights and darks, Chaos Stork is a valid option. It's really good. And then, of course, since I can run Stork, I'm running one Blackluster Soldier. Card is stupid. It needs rebanned. It was banned in the first place for a reason. It just lets you do a lot of unnecessary, stupid things. Anyways, that's the monster lineup. Next we'll go into Magics. One Reborn, staple. I think that should have probably been banned. Dark Hole, staple. Heavy Storm, staple. Book, staple. Double MST. I really don't like 3 MSTs. I think there are decks for 3 MSTs, but I'm happy with 2. A lot of the times I was like, I drew an MST and I'm like, you know, they didn't set a whole bunch of the back row, so I didn't need to worry about it. And like, I think 3 MSTs is just going to clog. Just my personal opinion. Because I'm not running 3 MSTs, I'm running double Forbidden Lance. Plus, Forbidden Lance really helps get down on the Stardust and stuff. Because of the whole -800 thing. I really like Lance this format. I think it's going to be a really crucial card in some decks to run the Lance. But that's just me. I like Lance. Plus, if you your monster gets Starlight Roaded and you Lance it, they don't get their Stardust, which, you know, isn't like the most broken thing in the world, but I like to manage my damage control. I like to do damage control, so if I have to not have to face a Stardust Dragon, which means I'm going to end up probably wasting another destruction effect, I'd rather just waste my Lance than have to deal with another monster. It just makes Starlight Road you force it to break even, so I'd rather it break even than my opponent plussing. Next, I'm running one Rhoda to add Doppel Warrior or Junk Synchron to my hands. And then I'm running double Tuning so that I can add either of the Synchrons, plus it mills a card so it fills out my graveyard. I really wasn't lucky with this card on Saturday. I was milling all kinds of Magic cards. I was like, half the time I'm like, gotta go for Junk Synchron and just hope I mill a monster. Pff, crap, there goes a Magic card. It was dumb. But that's what tuning does. And I figure since I'm running 26 monsters, likelihood of redrawing milling a monster is good, but whatever. One for one to get whatever 1-star you need out of the deck. Plus it fills up your graveyard and activates Fabled effects. One Mind Control, considering you're running 10 tuners. Mind Control is really good in this deck. One Monster Reincarn to get your Fabled effects off, plus, like, if you warning my BLS or something, I can just reincarn back, or I get back what I need. It's really good. One Allure of Darkness for draw power. And then one Pot of Avarice to put things back in the deck. Glad to see him at 1. And then my only trap is one Trap Dust Shoot, just so that you can see the hand and put things back. This is what gave me game against Dragon Exodia, because I was able to, luckily games 2 and 3, I had this really early on because of all my drawing from this deck. And once I set it down the next turn, flip up the Dust Shoot and stop his combo. But, yeah, that's the main deck. Onto the extra deck. Got one Formula Synchron. You know, draw one Synchro Tuner. Really good in this deck. Like, him going to 1 just made this deck a little bit more interesting to run, but whatever. One Armory Arm, because 4s are easy to go for in this deck. This is honestly going to become a shooting Quasar Dragon when it comes out, but, well, either this or one other of my 5s, but probably this are going to become shooting Quasar Dragon when it comes out, because I could so many times go for Quasar Dragon, I'm like, why are you not there? One Fabled Unicorn, if you control your hand right, Fabled Unicorn shuts down everything. Next, one Tech Genius Hyper Librarian. You plus a lot off of him. One Junk Warrior, because you're running the quick draw thing with level leaders, and he gets pretty beefy sometimes. One Fabled Ragan. When you go for Ragan and you have a Librarian on the field with no cards in the hand, you draw 3 cards. It's ridiculous because he's mandatory and he's optional, so he automatically has to go first. So draw 2 cards, oh, draw another one. It's ridiculous. Like, I hear massive plussing is good. Next one, Ally of Justice Cataster. It's pretty much staple. Next, one Drill Warrior. This card is so well abused in this deck, and since there's not a lot of back row, it's easier to protect. Discard a card to remove it to banish it. Oh, look at that. I just activated a Fable effect and lets me synchro a whole bunch. Oh, it comes back here. Let me grab whatever monster I want back from my graveyard. This is the first deck I've seen in a long time that is what's worth running Drill Warrior in. Like, if I'm running Quick Junk Dop, I'm usually running Junk Gardner instead of him, just because it can't get bottomless, and it makes it easier to control what your opponent does by changing things to defense and attack mode, and like it was good against Sheehan and stuff. Next, one Brio, staple. One Nitro Warrior. Nitro Warrior is great. It's really strong for 2,800. Kill a monster, switch one of their defenses to attack mode, and you can attack it. Great. It does a lot of damage. Plus, if you use a magic card after it's summoned, it gains 1,000 attack points, which is pretty beefy. One Black Rose Dragon, pretty much staple. Junk Destroyer. Junk Destroyer is really good in this deck, especially since I'm running double level leaders. You get the Quick Draw Synchron out, you summon the 3, then you munch a level off of Quick Draw Synchron with level leader, and you sync for an ace so you get double pops, or do whatever, like to get the most pops out of your Junk Destroyer. If not, you just pop 1, and this thing forced so many warnings, it isn't even funny. And this deck, you don't really care, because you're just like, oh, I'm going to sync like 30 different more times. Like, I went through 17 monsters in one turn. It happens that this deck either sinks like crazy and overwhelms it, or it sinks and it doesn't replenish itself. Like this, if it doesn't replenish itself, you're in trouble. If it does, which it usually does, you're fine. One Stardust Dragon. One Trishula. And then one Shooting Star Dragon. Makes Shooting Star really easy. And like, there should be a Shooting Quasar Dragon here, because it's just half the time when you can go for Shooting Star Dragon, you can also go for Shooting Quasar Dragon. It's just this time, since I don't have Quasar Dragon, I'm just gonna go a different route and go into Stardust, go into Shooting Star. This deck does a lot of really cool things, and it's one of the decks I like how this deck works, because it fits my highly aggressive play style. Next to the side is a double Cyber Dragon. You know, like, I really didn't even side at all this weekend. I just didn't feel like it. I was in one of those moods where I didn't feel like doing much. Just played. Double Veiler. Double Crow. Double Puppet Plant, because I was still expecting to see Samurai. Unfortunately, I saw a whole hell of a lot of Agent Angel, which really annoyed me. I understand that Agent Angel is good, but there are way too many people playing it. Like, if you like the deck, like, I know a lot of people just like the deck, that's one thing. But like, if you're just playing the deck because it's hopped, God, you need to stop playing this game. Double Nox for Gravekeepers, but I just pretty much took the same. I even changed my side deck for the new format. I just didn't care. This is pretty much just made for last format, except I swapped one card out. Double Fiendish Chain, because I side into my trap lineup. I still think Fiendish Chain is going to be great this format. 1 Solemn Judgment, Mirror Force, and then I just swapped out my Malevolent Catastrophe for a Starlight Road. But anyways, that's the deck. I'm excited to run another one of my favorite decks next week. But until then, Aura 1 through 4, signing out.